spent Tuesday night just sitting at home, not doing shit
I
all.
think it's that 10-day layover. It was last Tuesday, and then the following Friday. Extra.
I haven't seen Charlotte Flair in like 8 days now. I don't like. I'm gonna start tweaking or something. I haven't seen Kofi King. I haven't seen anybody. What happened to SmackDown?
I don't know. We'll have to wait.
We're gonna have to wait. We're gonna have to wait for SmackDown, folks. Folks, let's just get right into the podcast right here because because I need to start talking about some of these blue brand stars. But wait. It's not going to be the time for that, folks. You're listening to the Shoot Brothers Wrestling Podcast, the only wrestling podcast you can find online. That's hosted by myself, Cameron Osborne, and my co-host, Mike the Shoot Shepherd. Now, folks, we have an exciting show for you today. We're doing something a little bit differently this week. The wrestling world has been turned on its head.
Yes,
is
we
that
not
an expression?
one, but two. We have two season premieres. One company television premiere.
We have a whole new company premiere. We have shows are moving around, dates for some reason. But, we always have Tweets of the Week. So we have trivia. And, of course, I still have a Wrestler of the Week, although we're doing this a little bit differently, folks. Normally, we like to cover our Raw, SmackDowns, our pay-per-views. We clump it all into one show for all of you. But this weird little time frame right now where SmackDown has moved over to Friday nights. We have Hell in a Cell, the pay-per-view coming up this Sunday. We thought it'd be best for everyone. We're going to split the week right up in half.
Yeah, and NXT is on TV now. It's become a bigger deal. So there's just so much content out there that
NXT, because they're now the full 2 hours.
Yeah.
On television, because Suits is over.
Yeah, Suits. I
don't know if you. I don't know if you heard.
Never.
That's why it was only an hour.
I heard that's why. Yeah, it was delayed or 2 weeks.
The Suits series finale or season finale.
It is kind of funny how it did time out. Like Suits just happened to end on the same day as the AEW debut. It just happened to be the same premiere.
It just happened to be the same thing. Who knows how TV works, right?
Yeah.
It happened.
Maybe Cody was planning that. Maybe Cody's a big Suits fan. So we can't debut until I finish the show.
God damn it!
I gotta see how it ends.
I don't want to go to TV until I find out what happens at the firm.
What happens to Larry Suits?
Larry. Folks, we have a great show. Let's kick it off. Let's kick off our show the only way that we know how, which is with our tweet of the week. It's the tweet of the week. It's the tweet of the week. Tweet of the week.
Who's taking on Lacey Evans for the crown? That was a big week for her last week.
It was a big week for Lacey Evans, folks. Of course, Lacey Evans took home the tweet of the week. She was in that insane thing with the cop.
Yeah, she was bringing home all our titles last week.
She coulda. She wanted to.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mike, this one's a bit of a weird one. So you're gonna have to follow me on this because this wasn't too long ago. Earlier on in the week, oh, fuck, do I just say who the champ is? I think I just have to say who the champ is and then get into the story.
All right,
folks,
give it out.
This week's Tweet of the Week champion is his second title in the history of the title. Of course, your Tweet of the Week champion is Seth Rollins this week. Seth Rollins.
Rollins.
Seth fucking Rollins. Okay, Mike, this is a weird one. Okay, so what happened earlier on in the week is that Seth Rollins gets into a Twitter spat with Sasha Banks.
Yes, this did cross over into my
this
zone.
Crossed over into your
my social media zone. It bled over
into your field of whatever. I'm sure we follow a lot of the same people. So Seth first tweets out how honored he's going to be be going up against Rey Mysterio in the first ever, in the season premiere of Raw. It was a nice tweet.
Yeah.
Sasha Banks replies with the exact same tweet, but just regarding her and Alexa Bliss's match. It was kind of like word for word, meant to be funny. And then Seth responds to Sasha Banks saying, "This is a match I've been looking forward to as much as every other match you've had, a.k.a. none at all."
Yeah.
Like, out of fucking nowhere. He did the same shit to Will Ospreay, though, when he reclaimed his when he got his first championship.
I heard that did he delete his account after this?
Okay. No, we're not done. We're not
Okay,
done.
yeah.
So then...
See, I yeah, fill it in.
Okay, we got to fill in some blanks here. Then the Queen, Charlotte Flair, jumps in. Still love Charlotte Flair, by the way, for all those listening to the show. She's
got some good Twitter game herself.
She hops in with that little, it's a meme, the SpongeBob one where he's sitting on the couch and he says, "I'm a head out."
Yeah, just getting up. Like, all right.
So she responds to the thread with that. And then Sasha Banks comes back with... her tweet just says "Me too," followed by a GIF of Seth Rollins like wiping a single tear from under his eye after a Sasha and Bayley match at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 2015. Then Seth deletes his Twitter. Now he's off. Now he's and he got out of that immediately.
Yeah, so he has not returned from Twitter? Or
he has returned to Twitter.
He has? Okay.
He has returned to Twitter. I honestly, I think this is a case of, I don't like sarcasm not reaching. I think in Twitter, I really don't know. This was dumb. This was dumb from the fucking get-go.
It was weird. It seemed like, I don't know. I don't know what Seth's end game was here. Like, who's he? He's supposed to be a babyface. What's his angle here? What's he working?
What's your angle? Exactly. Yeah. He should be. I mean, Sasha Banks is maybe he's like really sensitive in these online.
He seems very sensitive. Like he's not doing this in character. Like he actually had a meltdown and deleted his Twitter.
Like Sasha just made a good kind of joke. You know, she's going up against Becky Lynch. It made sense for her to respond, but Seth just doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah, that's the age we live in now. Everyone, or I guess some people choose not to. Like John Moxley, he doesn't give a fuck. He's not on Twitter. But
John, if there's one thing I know about the Mox man, does not give a fuck. That's one thing I learned. That's one thing you learn about him real quickly.
Yeah. So wait. So is Seth the champ or Sasha the champ?
I think Seth's the champ because he engaged the spat.
Okay. He produced the content here.
Exactly, right? You know, I mean, Sasha's response to him, that's one thing, but Seth had to go real dumb.
That's fair. You know, a wrestler of the week, he doesn't always have to win his match. He just has to put on the best show, and that's what Seth did here, I guess.
God damn it, Seth. You know what? If you want to talk to someone who just knows the business, maybe Seth's our guy.
Yeah, maybe we'll have him on the show one day.
Maybe we'll have him on the show one day. Cool.
We'll decide.
Seth.
We'll decide.
Yeah. This is invite only, by the way. I know we get a lot of calls, we got a lot of emails asking to be on the show, folks. Invite only.
Yeah, we got some strict guidelines here. It's the Shoot Brothers, not the Shoot Funhouse.
Triplets. or wait. I don't know. Well, there you have it, folks. That was your tweet of the week. That was your tweet of the week, champion Seth Rollins. Back at it again. Let's see what dumb shit he does.
Yeah, what will he do next?
Let's see what he does next. But, folks, so I think we should move right on to one of the same segments that we do every single week, but it's got a little bit of a new ring to it. That's right, because we are at our season premiere of Monday Night Raw.
Let's get raw. Let's get raw.
New themes, Mike. Gotta love them.
So just like you and I, the WWE followed our lead and created new themes as well for their show.
There was, I first thing I noticed, you know, Mike, I'm a man of the production values. I think, you know, if we can say one thing about me.
Yeah, you're always, whenever they get too close to like a soundboard, you're always like, hey guys,
watch out for that Yamaha CL5. Watch out for it.
Exactly.
It's a nice piece of equipment, guys. And the one thing I just kind of right off the bat got to see is the new fucking entrance ramp. This curved LED screen is sweet.
Yeah, it's awesome. So it's like what they had before, but even grander. Like everything's consumed into a screen, and there's like a little doorway they come out, and a bunch of lights. We had Pyro. Pyro was back.
Pyro was back
on weekly television, and it was good. New theme song, new opening. Little like the Then Now Forever had a new thing to it. Whatever.
Yep.
So just completely everything's new. Great to see the fireworks, the Pyro.
Everything
new
was new.
Commentary.
We're introduced by this new team of Jerry the King Lawler,
Vic Joseph and Dio Madden.
And who's he?
Yeah, so he's the only one that I don't really, know too much about. But I guess, Vic is kind of going to be the new Michael Cole of Raw, and Jerry's there to be like the anchor, the color commentary. Is
Jerry Lawler like a permanent fixture on the thing? Is he just like a
I don't know.
temporary...
I don't know if he'll be long term, or is this just like to ease the other guys into their roles? I don't know, but we'll see.
Yeah,
but,
it does seem weird because he just popped
today.
right back up after being destroyed by the Fiend like a month back. He just shows up again, like, "Hey guys, what's up?"
Yeah, they were close to each other tonight as well at some point. So
very close proximity, right? But we kick off the show, which was a lot of fun. How do we kick off the show? With
a big bang.
With a big bang. Rey Mysterio pops up to open up this new era of Monday Night Raw. Coming down, cutting that promo, right? He's so excited. He's getting that Universal Championship opportunity later on in the night against Seth Rollins. And, of course, sitting ringside is his large son, Dominic. Much larger.
Yeah. Yeah, and Ray's like, "Yeah, man, I owe this opportunity to you, son. You talked me out of retirement, so I'm gonna bring that Universal title home, Messi." And then big bad Brock Lesnar comes out, which was I think surprise here. We weren't expecting him on this angle.
We were not.
And fucking Pyro entrance again, which is amazing. Just makes the Beast even more awesome.
Even beastier.
So Brock comes down. Heyman's waddling with him. They come to the ring. Brock just walks over to Ray and snatches the microphone from him and hands it to Paul Heyman. But then Ray goes and snatches it right back, so Lesnar doesn't like that. So he just picks him up, hits some F5s. And then from inside the ring, he starts staring down into the front row at Dominic.
Right at him. Right at that at least 18-year-old. Staring at him like Eddie did.
So at first he goes over to him, gets right into his face. And then you think he's going to do something, he's not. And then he just grabs him and fucking lifts him out of the seat over the barricade, onto the floor. Good bump. Hell of a first bump for the kid to take on TV.
Took a bunch of... by Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, and he wasn't done there. He picks him up again, and like at one point he almost dropped him, but then he just muscles him back up and just tosses him into the ring post, brings him inside the ring, hits a fucking huge German suplex that launches him across the ring. Ray comes in, tries to help his son, but he eats another F5, and Heyman's on the outside. This is too much. He's like,
no,
Brock! He's begging him.
Brock, no.
Yeah. So Brock leaves, but then he goes back in, hits some more just big release suplexes on Ray and Dominic, and Jerry Lawler just screaming, "That's a teenager!" But I looked it up. He's 22, but
okay, he's 22 at least. He's at least.
Lawler making it sound like he's 16 or something.
At least he's old enough to take a bump.
Teenager. Eventually, our boy Fit Finley comes out with some other officials to break this thing up. But
he did. There was a moment where I thought Brock was gonna kick the shit out of Fit.
He kind of gave him a little boot.
He gave him a little bit, and I was legitimately concerned for our for our friend.
Yeah. So he tosses the people out of the ring, tosses Ray and Dominic to the outside. The crowd's chanting "asshole" at him, and then he finally leaves. And Ray's just like crying over his fallen son. He's like, "I'm sorry,
I'm sorry, Dominic. I'm sorry." Dominic got stretchered away. You know what? This was it was a memorable opening, if nothing else.
I thought it was great. I thought it did its job, but I didn't think Brock Lesnar was going to be involved in this.
Just didn't expect it, right? So that's
like for Dominic's first angle. That's huge to be in something with Brock Lesnar. So good rub for him there, and he looked great, bumping his ass off. Just getting tossed around the ring.
He took bumps, right? That must be tough.
Yeah. So they wheel him off. They got the neck brace. They got the stretcher. Ray's crying, and we'll get an update on them later.
We get an update on a little bit of that later. We have some women's action coming up next. We have Sasha and Alexa Bliss, the aforementioned tweet of the week involved match. The instigator, the
runner-up,
or something. I don't know. They almost made it a tag team effort. Of course, Bayley and Nikki Cross are barred from ringside, so we're just gonna get these two in singles action.
Becky Lynch comes out for some commentary, and they had her smoke effect back. It's not pyro, but they spray smoke. But I thought this thing was way too loud. It's like covering up her banging entrance music.
Oh, just like.
Yeah, it's like it's way too loud. Yeah, like I like the smoke, but it's softer, quiet.
You want the smoke?
Yeah, we want the smoke.
Okay.
I decided we want. Anyways, yeah, Bliss versus Banks. It was okay. Eventually, the finish comes. Sasha starts pretending like, Bayley, come here. But she wasn't actually there. Alexa just looks over like, huh? And then Sasha kicks out the back of her leg and pins her. And then after the match, Becky comes down to the ring and her and Sasha start exchanging blows, but Sasha runs off through the crowd. So I guess we'll see them again on SmackDown. But.
I mean, I guess we'll see them again on SmackDown.
Yeah,
I think
but I guess they're playing.
They were running each other down on the mic, I think, at one point, right?
Yeah.
Becky's
I guess,
standing on the table and she's like, "What?"
Yeah, she stood up there for the whole match, I feel. But I guess they're playing into, Sasha, you won't be able to run in the cell, so run while you can now.
Yeah.
Run.
Run. Mike, let's keep this season premiere rolling.
Run.
Run to a Raw. What was that?
Our first of 3 promised championship matches.
We were promised 3, and if there's one thing I know about WWE is that they definitely do the things that they tell you they're going to do. So we have a guaranteed 3 championships coming up. First off, we do have the Raw Tag Team Champions, Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode, taking on Heavy Machinery, who I guess okay. Is this the draft now?
No, next week.
No, are you fucking serious?
Like they're getting all their last ones out while they still can.
So
like
when's the official nobody can change?
I guess after Hell in a Cell is when they start doing the draft will be cut into 2 parts: SmackDown Part 1, Raw Part 2, or something like that.
Okay. There you have it. So Heavy Machinery made their way over to the Red brand.
Yeah. It was a fun match. We had everyone's waiting for Otis to get the hot tag, and he starts hulking up. He's thrusting. He's rubbing his belly. Everyone's loving it. I'm loving it. And the commentary, they're just waiting. Like, oh, wait, you got to watch this, Jerry. They're just hyping up the Caterpillar. So he hits a double Caterpillar on Roode and Ziggler, and Jerry goes, ah! He loves to scream. He just... So, yeah. And then he tags in Tucker. They go for the compactor, but Ziggler super kicks him. Roode hits the glorious DDT for the 3 count. So they retain their titles. But, Heavy Machinery, though. The crowd still loves them. They'll get that win eventually.
A great match for Heavy Machinery. This was a real strong match. They got a lot of time, it felt like, and this Roode Ziggler team is working more. And it sucks. Why do these teams that are actually teams, they don't get pushed? And then the teams that aren't actually teams get pushed and then end up being real good. It's like this Ricochet Aleister Black thing. Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember that?
They never even got to win the belts. And we were on board. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, Roode and Ziggler, they should just be transitional champions anyway, so I imagine they'll drop them in a couple weeks or something. Who knows?
May drop them in a couple weeks.
Maybe in Saudi Arabia.
And maybe in Saudi Arabia. There's going to be a couple other faces here coming up in Saudi Arabia. We have a very, very special episode of Miz TV coming up next.
Yes, one of the season premiere of Miz TV, I guess. So
I guess.
special guests, Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair, Hall of Famers. But who the hell made the graphics for Ric Flair? Did you see the box?
I saw that immediately. They said 16.
Yeah, and the graphics clearly said 17-time champion.
I mean I get it. If you're typing on a keyboard, 6 and 7 are directly beside each other.
Yeah, but they had to have looked at this graphic before the show at least once.
You think someone would have done something.
It's a fireable offense.
I wonder if someone got fired.
Because, I mean, that's a fact that everybody in the
WWE in the
16 time. Come on. Yeah. So, we both noticed that. And, of course, unannounced ahead of time, the Mouse of the South, Jimmy Hart, was here as well. I don't think he got to talk. I think
he did not. He did not. For a man holding a megaphone, he didn't say many words.
Yeah. He's a good man, though. If you ever watch Legends House, you'll see he's a very kind, gentle soul, Jimmy Hart.
Okay, good. I'm glad to know.
So Hogan's here. He does his classic Hulkamania brother spiel, and then he puts over Ric Flair, calls Rick the greatest of all time. But then it was kind of weird because it seemed like Flair misunderstood because then he just started going on this drunken rant. He's like, I ain't no second fiddle. You might be the best. You might be the best draw ever. Blah blah blah.
Yeah. You can feel everybody tensing up when Ric Flair's on the microphone.
Flair,
we don't know what this man's.
I can't tell with him what's on the script and what's not. Yeah, he just went with it.
I think there was a time where he doesn't know what he's talking about anymore, and then it was up to the Miz and Hogan to make sure.
At one point, he's like, "What? Excuse me?"
Yeah. to get him back on track.
But then, so eventually,
you might have been the biggest draw in this business.
Yeah, he's like, "You and Taker," and but so he says, "I don't have an equal, and that includes you tonight." So then Hogan stands up from his chair, and Miz backs away. And they're teasing like, oh, my God, they're not going to let these old men fight. Is that Saudi Arabia going to make them fight?
Imagine. I never thought for a second that there would be a match, but imagine in Saudi Arabia, you had Ric Flair.
They were for a second. Hogan's like, you want to take another run at these 24-inch pythons, brother? And he was talking about his arms.
Okay, good.
But... yeah, and Flair took off his jacket, he threw it to the ground, and they go face to face, and then at the last second they laugh it off and they shake hands. And so Hogan's like, we ain't spring chickens no more, brother. And the crowd's chanting for one more match, but no, they would both die. We can't have that.
They would be dead. You know how hot it gets in Saudi Arabia? I'm surprised they're even going to let him go over there.
For a tenth of a second, I was worried because Miz is like, well, guess what? We have something to announce. On October 31st at Crown Jewel, we're going to have Team Hogan versus Team Flair in a 5-on-5 tag team match.
In a Survivor Series-esque thing.
They didn't say elimination, but I don't know.
I get the vibe.
Yeah, it's weird, though, because that's like 3 weeks before Survivor Series, so why would you take the big... Anyway, so Hogan and Flair...
Because they need us to watch it, right? And isn't it up to whatever they want for the show? They're like, we want this guy.
They just want, that's for them, and then they want you to forget about it a week later.
Yeah.
Every 6 months we have to deal with it for their big payday. But anyway, so Hogan and Flair, they're the coaches in the two teams, and then Hulk Hogan introduces Seth Rollins as his team captain. So he comes out, he's proud to be captain, and he does his own little, what you gonna do? Burn it down. Yeah. So Ric Flair doesn't even get to introduce. Randy Orton's music just starts playing.
He just starts coming out. They're like,
and then
no,
Ric Flair's like, yeah, that's my boy. Yeah.
Don't give him the time. Turn off his mic. So then we got the Viper coming out and Seth Rollins. Just before
Randy Orton
King Corbin starts getting involved in the fiasco.
And Randy Orton tells Rollins to crawl out of Hogan's ass. Very descriptive imagery there.
Wow, seriously. Well, he's the Viper. You think he'd be doing all the crawling up the asses.
Yeah. So they call for Orton's like, let's have a captain's match right now. Rollins like, all right. So Randy versus Seth, but as you said before that, King Corbin comes out, and then him and Orton just both attack Rollins, and then Rusev comes out to make the save. He's been all over the place the last few weeks, so he's a babyface apparently now. So I guess he's on Seth's team as well. So yeah.
And he's getting a title match tonight because Rey Mysterio...
We'll find that out later. Yeah, he's like, hey, Seth, I saved you there, so I get the title shot because Rey's out. Because we then get some candid backstage footage of Dominic being loaded into the ambulance. He's groaning in pain still, and Rey just jumps in the back and removes his mask, and we get to see his face through the ambulance window. So that's how you know this is real pain he's in.
This is real, guys. This isn't kayfabe. Brock Lesnar actually killed Dominic.
This poor guy.
We're past kayfabe.
He's just he's in. So they go away, and we hear you heard it earlier in the night. The ambulance just randomly during one of the matches.
It was super loud during Sasha's match. It was just like.
Then everyone looked over like, what's this?
Jesus
was there
Christ.
something?
Someone's entrance or something? I thought the same thing. I did think the same thing. Yeah.
It's kind of funny though. I mean, it's kind of neat how that's. Yeah, it makes sense because they're playing it off as real, so it makes sense that you would hear it.
Yeah, I guess. It's not too far away.
And then we go backstage. Charlie interviews Rusev, and they're asking, where's Lana? Where's Lana? And he's like, I don't discuss personal problems like that. So, and then that's when he says Seth owes him, so we'll get that Universal title match later.
Yeah.
And then we continue the feud, Viking Raiders versus the OC that we've had the last couple of weeks. So similar kind of match, not too bad. Eventually, Ivar hits the big splash off the top rope onto Gallows, gets the win. I don't remember. I guess AJ wasn't here. He was preparing for his match or something.
AJ was not here because he has his own match against Cedric Alexander later. This was a fine match. The crowd wasn't into it, so It's hard for us. It's hard for me to get into it if the crowd's really not feeling it. You know,
they popped for a couple of the big spots, but most of it was kind of slow going. But then we had another quick match: Ricochet versus Cesaro. They had some good moves in there. Ricochet hits a springboard Hurricane Rana into the pinfall for the win. So, and Cesaro's wearing those pants again.
He was wearing pants. What's the deal with these pants?
But they're like super like
they're like capris.
Yeah, they go up like part of the way of the leg. It's weird.
It's a weird pant. Joggers, kinda.
Yeah,
kind of like
Cesaro's. I guess he's never fully grasped the character. They just don't want him to be a good wrestler.
Okay.
If he could be the actor that Daniel Bryan is, then damn, he would be like, you know.
Okay, so how long will it take? I mean, Cesaro is just consistently on a bad path of just jobbing out to whoever, every Tom, Dick, and Harry around the block. So what is our time guess estimate before Cesaro is jobbing out to Dominic? I give it 4 months.
I don't know. I think that's... I mean, that's more of a Dominic thing. Like, is Dominic going to be on the roster in 4 months?
No, or will Cesaro's stock fall so low that he's the first one that like puts Dominic over?
Yeah, I mean, that's within the realm of possibility.
Both of these options actually seem flat out possible, and who the fuck knows?
Well, no, I don't know. We'll see. It'll be fun, though, to see what Dominic can actually do. But not for a while. He's hurt. He might be crippled. He may never walk.
He may never walk again. That's a good point, Mike. Okay, what do we have coming up next?
Well, let's move on over to the Firefly Funhouse. We got all the puppets. They're trembling in fear, and Ramblin' Rabbit just has a heart attack or something. He falls down. Bray pronounces him dead, and then he just says, yeah, you know, it's okay to be scared. I'm scared too. And a couple other things, standard. Nothing too...
Nothing too crazy for the Firefly Funhouse, you know.
It was basically a summation, you know, like I'm ready. We're Hell in a Cell. We're ready. Go to hell. Bye.
And I'm ready too. I guess this was this was the go home promo for that, you know, which is you know, when we've built a match and a feud without these two people actually like talking to each other's face. Or they may have I think they may have had like Seth was in the ring on a mic and then Bray was backstage.
Yeah,
I think they did,
and everyone's ready. Like the Fiend, everyone wants to see him.
Yeah, and I don't work Sunday night, so you know, barring anything else, fucking I'll be checking out the Fiend live.
Woo! Nice. All right, and then we get another championship match, the United States Championship. AJ Styles defending against, Cedric Alexander. Yeah, this was another awesome match between these two.
It was just a sprint. It was this, and I think 2 weeks in a row now. It's just they've been just get all your spots in real fast. Yeah. This over and done in 7 minutes.
Yeah, Cedric, he gets some shine. He looks good, but AJ puts him away again with the Styles Clash. So some cool sequences, but hopefully I think the feud should end with Cedric winning that title eventually. You know.
Yeah, it seems like it, right? Or is AJ just on this destruction path now?
Yeah, I mean that works. He is a good U.S. champion. It's been
it's been
a very good little while with him.
Yeah,
So that I don't know. I think Cedric will get this thing eventually. So.
Hopefully, yeah. Do they have a match coming up at Hell in a Cell?
I don't know. There's only 3 matches announced for that thing, so it's weird. They're gonna. I'm fine. I'm hoping it's only like a 6-match card, but I imagine whatever happens with Kofi and Brock will book another title match that same SmackDown.
Yeah, there's a whole side of an intercontinental thing that could happen.
Yeah, so I imagine tomorrow night.
Which is going to be weird because everything happening on SmackDown, there will be that constantly written in narrative that like it was 2 days ago.
Yeah, so it's
if you get beaten up in your contract signing, you know, on the Go Home show, suddenly the Go Home show, you have 2 days of turnaround.
Yeah, that's a big deal. If you get speared through the LED screen and it blows up,
I think I would need at least 3 days to recover from that.
Yeah, 3
to recover from
3.5 maybe.
No, 3. If I'm pushing it, I'm gonna say 3.5. So we guess we don't have that match, so we will just have to wait and see. Only a couple more matches left. We have some women's action coming up next. We have Natalya and Lacey Evans.
Yes, Lacey, sassy Southern Belle. She's fighting vicious early on. She bashes Natalya's head into the steel stairs. They going back and forth for a bit, but then Lacey grabs Natalya's face, I guess gouging out the eyes a bit behind the ref's back, which allows her to roll up Natty and grab the tights for some extra leverage for the win. So she's and then after the match, she hits the woman's right just to rub it in. So I don't know. Is this feud over? Is it going on? I don't know.
Pre-show, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah. Well, yeah, or is this just one of those cases of they started going somewhere, couldn't finish going there, and next thing you know, these drafts are coming up next week? Because I think that'll kind of like kind of dissipate a lot of people. There's a chance Cedric Alexander could be going somewhere differently. There's a chance it could all change. So I guess this just like fucking let him go. I guess I really don't know.
No, I guess we'll see.
I guess we will see. Main event time. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, quick backstage stuff. Paul Heyman was just addressing the Brock Lesnar actions. He apologizes to Ray and Dominic, but he says blame Vince McMahon for scheduling Brock on Raw when he's in fight mode because he's got the title match on Friday, and Heyman gives us a spoiler that Brock will be the new WWE champion on Friday. And he doesn't fuck around with those spoilers.
Spoiling.
He's always he does not lie. I believe he's got like 100% track record on those spoilers.
Oh, really? Is that? I didn't know.
I'm pretty damn close.
I didn't know that's been tested.
When he gives a spoiler, it usually actually is a spoiler. So I think Brock's winning that title on Friday.
Interesting.
But and then we do get another quick backstage thing with Charlie talking to Maria. She just wants to clear up that Rusev is not the father. So I guess that's their way of clearing that up.
Oh, okay, great. I was really worried about
I needed to know.
The father of Maria
I needed closure.
Baby.
Yeah. And then Sasha comes running in and grabs the mic and just calls out Becky. So I guess that's the promo. And then we see a limo arrive backstage as well, but we didn't see who got out of it. And did they ever show you who arrives, or did we just assume it's Bobby Lashley who comes out?
I don't know. I still don't know. Who the fuck came out of that limo. I thought, maybe they did. Anyways, let's just get into whatever the hell's happening. Seth and Rusev are having this match, and
Main
it's
event.
going
Universal Championship.
It's
yes.
going. I'm enjoying the things that I'm seeing. Let me just kind of play by play what's going on, what I'm seeing. Rand, you can kind of fill in the blanks.
Yeah.
Okay, Mike? So
okay.
I'm watching a match.
Yeah.
Two guys who I like the matches they put on. Generally, I like Rusev. I like, there's a couple matcha kicks. There's a couple, there's a suicide dive at one point. Or, a little kind of through the ropes thing.
Yeah.
And then that bellowing tuba coming in the entrance music.
Yeah. I had forgotten. At first, I didn't even remember whose music this was.
Took me a second until I heard
at first I'm like, is this the Fiend?
Dun.
Yeah. At first, I thought it was a Fiend call, but I'm like, no, wait, it's not the Fiend sound.
It's not the Fiend sound. But who is it?
One thing I liked.
What are you gonna say?
Sorry, yeah. During the match, Jerry Lawler says he feels the presence of the Fiend. And Vic Joseph speculated that maybe because you were on his wall, you have a sense for it, which is kind of like a cool little kayfabe,
like a little like a Horcrux or something,
Yeah,
he's one of.
But
his
that horn, that Lashley comes out. He makes his return.
Bobby Lashley comes out. We haven't seen him we haven't seen him since Dean Ambrose worked for the fucking company.
Yeah, we didn't see him all summer. Yeah, he comes out and then it's weird. So he starts motioning. But then he has to motion 3 or 4 times at the entranceway, and then Lana's music hits. So I'm like, "Oh, is Lana joining Team Hogan?" And right?
Okay, sure. Maybe that's I don't know what I thought at all. Really?
Yeah, I didn't know what I thought either. But then Lana, she comes out, she holds hands with Lashley, and at first they just do a little seductive hug, but then they just full on makeout,
for
suggesting
30
that Lana.
seconds.
Yeah, so Lana's getting blacked is what they're trying to get across. No offense to Lana. But, yeah, so Rusev's just standing there looking on in bewilderment. and then they just go at it again. They just go like 3 or 4 times. They stop, and then they start again, this make-out session. So Rusev's looking like a bigger cuck than Mike Canales here.
He is. Cuck of the week. We need a new
cuck of the week.
New segment.
So
it's the cuck of the week.
He completely forgets about his Universal title match. And if that wasn't wild enough, then the lights start to shut down and then it's the Fiend for real
now.
So he appears, he locks in that mandible claw on Seth again, and then the lights shut out, and then we just hear Bray's laughter to end the show. And
there you have it. And that was, and just to end the show, to end this season premiere of Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, and I think we're all looking forward to that match, that Hell in a Cell match.
Oh, it's huge. It's
I'm excited for the pay-per-view. Like, they've only announced 3 matches, but they're all looking good. So
yeah, at least they are, right? There you have it, folks. That was our Monday Night Raw. Mike, I think it's about time that we take a little bit of a break. And then we come back with some trivia and the fucking world premiere of All Elite Wrestling.
Woo! Dynamite kaboom.
Dynamite kaboom, folks. You're going to stick around. We'll be right back.
Let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, brother, yeah, let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, brother, yeah.
And we back, folks. We back. We're back with the second half of the show. The jelly to our peanut butter, the fries to our Big Mac.
Yes, the honey sauce for your McNuggets.
The honey. That's very specific. Before
wow,
for all you
for those that know, fans. They know.
Oh, if we're talking nuggets, are we talking full nugs?
The honey sauce. Why do you think they give the smallest packet to the honey sauce? Because that shit's so precious. They don't want to just be giving it away.
Oh, should I? So you have to ask for extra honey sauces because it's going to be a little bit more. It's going to be a little bit more. Hey, shit here. You heard it. You heard it here first, folks. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, fucking. We have to like hire bees as slaves to make that shit. We can't just produce it out of nowhere.
I don't think slaves get hired, dude.
Well, we give them a place to live and safety and comfort.
On a hive and a queen and all these sorts of things.
They might not even know they're slaves. They're just doing what their dumb mind tells them.
The least that they can do is just make us some honey. Just a little bit of honey.
Get my nugs, yo. Me and Michael Jordan split a 20-pack. We slam dunk those nuggets into it.
Folks, you're not listening. You're not listening to B Talk. No, this is the Shoot Brothers Wrestling podcast. We're gonna kick off our second half of the show the only way that we know how, which is with our trivia.
Trivia. Woo! Trivia.
Woo! Short week.
All right.
Short week or like odd week. So I think the trivia may be slightly misguided on my part, Mike. I'm really just gonna pull out some more wrestlers in other words.
Yeah, hopefully I can redeem.
You know what? I was really hoping an
off week.
I was making like a list and I was going through and I was really hoping I could save these for another day, but timing worked out, so you're just gonna get a couple of them. I think I have I have 3.
All right, I'll give you a question first.
Let's go for
it. Some of these questions you only have to give me one answer, but you can get bonus points if you can give multiples.
Love bonus points.
Yeah. So basically, I'm looking for other characters. So not just a name change from a guy, like someone playing 2 different characters in the same company.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. So
the man we know as Kane. Kane, do you know any other characters he played on WWF television?
Any other characters that he would have been like other names?
Different name, different character completely. Nothing to do with Kane.
Nothing to do with Kane at all. Well, because I know there was like a corporate Kane.
That's not what I'm looking.
Okay, that does not count.
Yeah.
You know what? I think that was my that would have been my sole guess.
All right. Well, I don't know if you've ever seen, but when Kevin Nash and Scott Hall went over to the WCW, who they tried to replace them with Razor Ramon and Diesel. They brought out these other guys, and they just called them Diesel and Razor Ramon. And Kane played the fake Diesel.
Really?
So he was, for like a week. And then he also had another character, a dentist, an evil dentist called Isaac Yankum, DDS.
Oh, no way. Okay, I have heard of... I think I have heard of Isaac Yankum.
Yeah, he's the more well-known thing. But anyways, those are just some fun facts. Kane.
So how long did this Diesel... Who was the fake Razor Ramon?
He actually died this past week or so. It was in. Maybe that's what inspired me to think of these. Yeah, they just brought them in, and the crowd booed right away. They're like, "That's not fucking Diesel. You come on." We all know who the character is. It's not like, ironically enough, a guy like Kane. You could kind of pretend, but yeah.
Weird. I didn't even know they tried that. Way to go, Vince. At least he
It was
tried.
stupid.
I guess he owns the name, right? He can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah.
Okay, Mike. Question number 2.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Well, question number 1 from me. Sorry, I got distracted.
Second
okay,
overall
wrestlers
in
in other words. Here we go. We have Street Fighter Insect.
Street Fighter Insect. Okay, I gotta talk it out more. Street Fighter Insect Bug Spider Ant. See the giggles? Yeah, I gotta use those. Ant Street Fighter Ant.
Just all funny,
Street
yeah.
Ken.
Because I know you're also thinking Ant. Who the fuck, who's Ant?
The Street Fighter. See now, because I don't know how much you know about Street Fighter. Is it like a
No. This is similar to what it was last week. So it was like words. So like Street Fighter Insect. Like the name I'm looking for is a 3-word name.
So street. Oh, so it's not street
no, it's direct. Like street. That's the first word of this person's name.
And then fighter, and then insect.
That's correct.
Okay, so I was thinking
you were probably thinking
video game,
like Street Fighter shit.
Yeah, I was like Blanca, Ryu, Guile. He doesn't know these people. Okay, so Street Fighter Insect.
There you go.
Okay, the insect one. There's gotta be a bug out there. A bug, a spider, an ant. Street Fighter Insect.
It's a tough one.
Is it?
Nah. Oh, I don't know.
Oh, well, I don't know. Is it a current wrestler, a past wrestler?
Past wrestler and WWE Hall of Famer.
WWE Hall of Famer.
I can feel it. I can feel it, Mike.
I know. I want this. Street Fighter Wrestler Hall of Famer. Not the Brooklyn Brawler.
No. You're thinking about stuff though, which is nice.
Yeah. Brooklyn Brawler. Street Fighter Wrestler. Yeah. It's not that we did the Road Dogg last week. And that was a similar to a street. Well,
that just because people do have the same words in their names. People have the same names in other people's names who are in no way related to the other wrestlers.
Yeah.
So just because somebody's name last week was Roode doesn't mean that this week it could not also be Roode.
Well, yeah. There's like Road Warrior. Are you thinking one of Road Warrior Hawk? Road Warrior Animal?
I was looking for Road Warrior Animal.
Okay, Road Warrior Animal.
Street Fighter Insect. Right. Road Warrior Animal.
A little bit of help, but we got that.
You got it, Mike. Okay, give me question number 2.
I wanted to get that. Yeah, sorry for the...
No. The next 2 are also fun.
Yeah, mine. Some of these might be difficult if you don't know.
That's the thing. It might be tough.
And here's mine. Same gimmick.
Okay.
So the wrestler Sin Cara, you know who he is.
I do know who he is.
He used to wrestle in the WWE with a different name, different gimmick, no mask on. Do you know who it was?
No. I've never heard of that at all.
Yeah, I think it was just a few years before you came back into the wrestling fold. He wrestled as a man named Hunico. He was just, and his partner, Tamacho or something. I don't know.
Right, because Sin Cara has been like 2 people
Yeah, so he replaced the original Sin Cara. They had like a Sin Cara versus Sin Cara feud, and
Interesting.
so the way you can tell it's him is because of his big shoulder tattoo, and yeah.
Interesting.
So it's there's a little thing.
There you have it, folks. Yeah, no, I didn't know. I didn't know that. I knew Sin Cara was a couple dudes, but I didn't know everything going on there.
Yeah, so there you go. The lineage of Sin Cara.
Okay, Mike. This next one, I'm gonna have to reword this. I'm gonna have to sit on this one and think about because it's not like the other questions. It is still wrestler in other words. It's just it's not the same, and I think the clues are you're not gonna get it at all.
Okay. Well, you could try it, throw it out just for fun, and then you don't have to give me the answer if you want to rework it.
Okay, yeah. So, what I have right now, if you can get, so it's kind of like it's a two-parter. So, principle and the Latin word for immortal.
Yeah,
it's surprising. This one would be an actual. You're gonna learn a word in Latin. So we're gonna sit on this. We're gonna sit on that one. We're gonna sit on this.
Yeah,
one.
I don't think I would get.
So your final question is a wrestler in another word. Your clue is Japan.
Japan?
That's it, baby.
Just Japan?
That's just your one word.
Nakamura?
No. What? No. Okay. No. This is more akin to the Road War, to the Street Fighter insect. It's just one word.
Yeah. Okay.
Just,
so just
one.
Japan? Something that
Japan.
like. Okay.
You're thinking way too hard about this. You're thinking way too hard.
I'm thinking way too hard.
You're thinking way too hard. Yeah. It's just one word
Japan?
that is the name of a country.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a wrestler named after a country. What country? China.
China. You got it.
Yeah. There you go. All right. Yes. That one could have got messy.
Well, that's what I was trying to say. Where I was like, one word. How do I keep?
So here's when I said Nakamura. It's not because he's Japanese. I thought there was like a city named Nakamura or something.
Oh, that's a good point. I saw the other day. There was a bike, and there's like a bicycle company called Nakamura.
Huh.
I thought that was pretty cool.
All right. Going back.
Okay.
AKA. Yes, this is what this is. XPac wrestled as some other names in the WWF.
Wait, do you mean the man currently known as Pac, or the man who
Sean
was
Waltman,
once
X-Pac
known?
D-Generation X, X-Pac?
Yes, I do. Yes,
X-Pac.
Okay, I'm just making sure it wasn't like, I want to make sure which Pac I'm talking about here.
Yeah.
I only know one of his names, which was the 1, 2, 3 Kid.
That is correct.
And I think he had, I want to say he had another name that was like the something Kid.
Yeah, he had a bunch. He had
a couple. I'm gonna make a guess.
Yeah.
I think one was called like the fucking the Tornado Kid or something like that. Yeah,
pretty close. Yeah,
okay.
There was like the Kamikaze Kid, the Lightning Kid.
Lightning. That's probably.
Yeah, Lightning. Yeah, you got the 1, 2, 3. I only needed one. You got the 1, 2, 3 Kid. He was also just the Kid at one point.
Oh shit.
So, but yeah, no, those were all just bonus. I just wanted one. You got the 1, 2, 3 Kid. I got one more. I'll give you one more of these.
Give it to me, baby.
Yes, this man was most famously known as the Pimp Daddy, the Godfather. Do you know what other gimmicks he played?
Man. You know what? Let me think about this. The Pimp Daddy, the Godfather. He was a dude. He said words.
Pimp it ain't easy.
Yeah,
Woo!
there you go.
That was his.
I really don't.
He literally
I feel like
inspired
I feel like there was a mix of them, like the God or like the Pimp Father. I could see them I could see Vince trying to crush his names to go in and yo, you're the Pimp Father. You're the God Pimp. Yeah, you're a pimp to the gods. I don't know. I got nothing.
Yeah. So you want me to tell you?
Yes, please.
All right, so one, I think you may have heard of Papa Shango. Have you seen that voodoo-looking guy? He wears face paint. He's like a fucking...
No, I can't say I have. Besides the boogeyman, I can't say that another...
Yeah, he's pretty much that before. He's got like the...
Just without the worms?
Yeah, without the worms. He had like his face painted black with the white lips. Like
I can picture it like an Amazon tribe
and he
type
would come...
thing.
Yeah, exactly. And he'd have like smoking skulls and...
Cool.
And then he was also a guy, Kama. He wrestled as Kama Mustafa at one point, which is just generic. And then the stable Right to Censor. Did you ever hear of that stable?
Right to Censor, no.
Yeah, they would just come up and try to censor everything. So like during like a bra and panties match, they'd come up and like put a bag over the girl to cover her up, or they were trying to. They were just these big heels trying to take away all the good stuff of the show.
Take away all the fun stuff.
And there was a storyline where they captured the Godfather, and I guess they brainwashed him, and he became the Good Father.
Oh.
What's his final?
I should have guessed that. I should have guessed that one. Yeah.
That was close to what you were first saying.
I was close. Yeah.
But it was still a different gimmick because he started coming out with a clean shirt and tie, and he was all like, he was like repenting what he did before.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It was funny.
I can see that.
It was interesting. It was a fun time.
The missionary version of the character.
Yeah, and then like they took Val Venus in as well. They made him stop being like his porn star gimmick. And they were just brainwashing these wrestlers and the big heels.
And
right to censor.
Who took him down?
But they only lasted. I don't know. It's probably like Scotty Too Hottie and Rikishi.
Okay, good. At least
it
was all for something, right?
Yeah. Anyways, there's your trivia, folks. Have some fun.
Have some fun with it. That was a lot of fun. And we'll be back next week with more trivia. But now, God, it's the moment that I think we've almost all been waiting for, right? Because, over a year ago, a couple guys on the other side of the world had an idea that they could change the wrestling business, that they could bring out the best out of everyone. They could do something that they've never done, that no one's ever done before. Just fucking start up your own company. So, you know what? After a year plus of anticipation, 4 or some odd pay-per-views, countless online vignettes, jokes, laughs, and 5-star matches, AEW is live to television.
AEW. All Elite. They coming for you, Vince. Better watch out. It's too sweet.
Let's light the fuse, because we got some dynamite. They had a real nice, slick-looking opening video package.
A lot of colors.
A lot of colors. They had fucking Dustin bleeding his face off in there, and we cut to the stage, which was complete with their own pyro. The stage looks similar to what they had for one of the pay-per-views, which is like the big circular thing, lights up and shit.
They got a couple ramps coming from either side. They come out there through the middle. We cut open. We got Jim Ross, Excalibur, and Tony Schiavone. Which, by the way,
fucking I like him. He's
legend.
He's good voice, legendary WCW commentary. And also here in the front row, dead center, green smiley face guy.
He was the very first thing I noticed.
So how this guy's got connections beyond just the WWE. I want to know his story.
This guy,
I want a WWE.
Yeah, somebody. He had somehow this guy has
like he's either got a lot of money or a lot of power. He's got something going on because you can't just have that seat every time.
Every single time. And I get that, it's the first AEW thing he's going to be there. I don't anticipate him being there every week, but what if it's nice to know that he's an AEW fan.
Yeah, but I mean, if it sells out in 30 seconds, you can't even pick your seat. How does he get that seat?
Yeah, because at that point, verified resale doesn't mean anything to him. He's like, fuck it, I'm just going to buy it.
He's crazy. I don't know. But so he was here. He's here for the first match. We're going to start the show with the guy who started the brand pretty much, Cody versus Sammy Guevara. Your first ever Dynamite match, and
first ever match, and they kicked right into it. Right, of course, Cody comes out to just this core, a hero's welcome, one might say. Sammy Guevara,
American Nightmare,
the chorus of boos. But early on, Sammy Guevara was coming out on top. There was a standing moonsault for a near fall there. Kind of like
lots of good traditional mat wrestling back and forth. At one point, Cody goes for a suicide dive, but then Sammy pulls Brandy into the way, so she gets knocked out. That gets some big heat from the crowd.
Yep.
But she does get a revenge later on. It's behind the ref's back. She pulls off her big high heel shoe and she knocks him in the head with that. So Cody hits a disaster kick, but only gets a 2 count. And then Cody hits a big reverse suplex off the top rope for another near fall. That was a big holy shit spot from the crowd. Yeah, and then near the end, or I guess this was the end, Sammy hits a Spanish fly off the top rope, and then he goes for a shooting star press, but Cody gets his knees up and then cradles him in for the 3 count. So great match, good opener. Sammy looked good, even in defeat.
Sammy looks great, even though he takes the L. Cody's celebrating. He's about to have a little quick interview with Tony Schiavone in the middle of the ring when that was just enough of a distraction for Chris Jericho to come rolling all in, kicking the shit out of Cody. He's got his belt. He's got his bubbly shirt. He's good to go.
Yeah, that was a cool shirt.
It's a cool shirt.
So I'm sure that's probably the top seller for AEW right now. Well, that bubbly shirt.
Yeah, I also saw that Hot Topic is AEW's exclusive clothing brand now.
Yeah, that'll rake in some good cash for them.
So
I mean, they already.
They already pretty much are, but
yeah, they've had Bullet Club and Elite shirts there before.
Of course,
but,
yeah.
So Jericho attacks Cody. Cody's challenging for that title at Full Gear, which is November 9th. So, yeah, there you go. Just putting some heat on Jericho for the match.
Yeah, just a great intro to AEW altogether. It's a different looking show. It's a different sounding. It's a different feel. It's a different show entirely, right?
Yeah, like some of the casual fans, they might recognize Cody, and then Sammy's a great enough wrestler that they're like, oh, this is sweet, so they'll tune in, they'll stick around.
I think I saw that TSN is the...
Yeah, that the last minute they picked up a day or two before.
So I think that means...
TSN.
I think that means no matter what, even if there's a Raptors game...
Well, I guess because now I think anyone that has TSN gets all 4 TSNs, so it's not always.
Oh, okay. So they could put it on TSN 1.
Yeah,
and then
TSN 3, 4. So that way, if there's Wednesday night hockey, if there's Wednesday night Raptors, you can still go to TSN 3 and get your AEW Dynamite.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, there you go, folks. Yeah, so tune on.
So good for us Canadians.
TSN 3.
Yeah.
Another match coming up next, though. We have MJF taking on Brandon Cutler.
Yeah, Maxwell, he cuts a nice promo before the match, just insulting the crowd.
Classic
calling
stuff.
Them poor idiots. He calls himself the youngest and fastest rising star in the business. And yeah, so such a good heel. We all love him. So, pretty quick match, though. MJF hits a huge elbow and then locks in an armbar for the submission.
I don't know if you also noticed beside everybody had their AEW record. If you saw this, so when all the names were introduced, it would say there, it was in 3, so like a win, loss, or a draw.
Yeah, I noticed it for some of them, but I didn't pay attention.
Well,
to every single one
thing that so they do that for this, and they've been saying this whole time, like wins and losses are gonna matter. They want to show that, but during the main event, it showed it was like the trios record. So both groups were 0-0. So I mean.
Yeah.
That way, if you do have to make one of those 6-man tags to close off a show, some other people, this trio just hasn't won before, even though that one person has. Yeah.
And so the loss doesn't hit their record.
The loss doesn't hit their record. Yeah, it's the trio's record.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that makes sense.
It all makes sense. We all get it. Quick little match. Yeah. I think what happens. I think MJF just gets the dub.
This tap out.
Really promoted, getting MJF's charismatic heel work done.
Yeah, we love him. He's so good. He comes out to a big pop, and then he still gets the crowd to boo him because he's so good.
Because he's just so damn good. More wrestling coming up. We got Adam Hangman Page taking on
Wait a minute.
Pac.
In between, we had some special guests. They had Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes there.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah, they were talking about the Jay and Silent Bob reboot, which I didn't even know was being made, but it comes out in a few weeks, apparently.
Yeah.
And Jericho's in it, so he's playing a role. He's like one of the main villains.
That's what he said.
So, and then Angelico and Helico and Jack Evans come out and insult them, Jay and Silent Bob, and then Private Party come in and to take care of Jay and them. So, yeah, there was your little celebrity angle, I guess.
Of course. Well, yeah, I guess, you need a hot celebrity angle in the very first week, right?
Yeah.
Let's get on to that match. Let's get on to that Adam Page Pac match. Pac.
Yeah. So this was the match that were originally supposed to be on Double or Nothing, but they canceled it last minute. Right?
Yeah, I think
all those months ago.
Yeah, like Pac couldn't get there, so they did the knee angle.
Yeah.
But now they're back.
Yeah. And we got a pretty fun match. Pac, at one point, he took a big shot to the face. He was busted open. Swollen eye there. And then behind the ref's back, Pac hits a kick to the nuts of Page. And then he hits the Black Arrow, but he doesn't want the pinfall. He locks him in the Brutalizer submission. And he gets the victory over the Hangman.
So that's 2 straight submissions. And
2-0.
2-0.
2-0. Yeah, he's beaten Kenny Omega. He's beaten Page. He's got to be one of the contenders for the title soon.
You would have to think, right? So I guess now Pac. I mean, we don't know how does that hold because he's still with Dragon Gate.
Yeah, but like obviously he's obviously they. I guess the end game is AEW, and they're already putting him on the shows. So
okay,
booking him strong. He's looking strong.
Because I have heard of stuff before too, where it's like contracts that won't let you wrestle in certain parts of the world. Like I know, his John Moxley's New Japan contract with AEW was so that he could not wrestle when the G1 came to America. He could only do the Japan dates.
Yeah.
Where I've heard of dudes in like Ring of Honor or like independent dudes not being able to wrestle on the West Coast unless it's PWG. Like they also have certain kind of like shit like that too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But more of Pac is always a good thing.
More Pac.
So apparently, yeah, they say Pac every single time on TV. So I guess that's what he wants.
I guess that's what we're going with.
It's hard to get used to. But.
Yeah.
All right. Then we get the match I was looking forward to most, to determine the first ever AEW Women's Champion. We get Riho versus Nyla Rose. This was a good fun match for me. Just the classic big versus small David Goliath story. The tiny little Riho going up against the big Nyla. Riho goes for a big crossbody off the top rope, but Nyla Rose just catches her midair with her strength, and then she starts grabbing chairs, and the ref stops her. He's like, "Come on, man!" So
like, what are you doing?
And then she just starts tossing them into a big piles a bunch of chairs down, and throws Riho on top of it. And then she goes for a flipping senton, but Riho rolls out of the way, so she crashes and burns into the pile of chairs. And then, so also I guess worth mentioning is during commercial breaks, they had the picture-in-picture display that you see on SmackDown. So I guess they got, at least for this episode.
Yeah.
So this was one match. Yeah. We got some hot near falls. Riho kicks out of a big Death Valley driver. And then she somehow hits a superplex on Nyla off the top rope for another near fall. And then shortly after that, she hits a big running double knee strike to Nyla's face and gets the 3 count. So a little bit surprising for me. Riho is your first ever AEW Women's Champion. And I'm happy for her.
Exactly. David will always beat Goliath. It's always,
I'm very happy.
Yeah.
It's she's great baby face.
Of course. And to give it, we can't have 2 heels running the 2 belts.
Yeah. This is good to, Riho. Riho should always be that first. And not that I care, but there are some people that may be offended by Nyla Rose. Transphobic kind of people,
Oh, is she trans? I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. At first, I thought Nyla Rose was not to split hairs. I thought she was a woman, but apparently she's a trans person. So some people would argue that she's not.
But wait, okay, no, we're not gonna get into that.
I don't want to get too deep.
No, we're not gonna get into that because after the match, when I think Michael Nakazawa comes out and he's going to either they're gonna he wants to interview her and he says like we're gonna speak Japanese, and before he even gets a chance to ask her a question, Nyla Rose comes back in and fucking hits him with a power bomb. Well,
fucking Liger bomb. Like at first she couldn't get him quite up, and then she just got him up and
then she got him up, and then and then she's gonna go after Riho, and then shortly after Kenny Omega of all people, comes rushing down. He's
got a hand in this company. You can't just be killing
Riho's
my talent
aid.
here.
Also in on the road to TNT, on one of they spend an episode on Riho where you also find out that Kenny Omega is huge in this. All the women from from Japan coming over, that's like Kenny Omega's shit. He's like, yo, I'm training all of these people.
He brought her in.
Yeah, so I think it's so I think Kenny Omega has been training Riho and the other ones who are also there.
Yeah, I forget.
But yeah, and then eventually they get Nyla Rose out. But yeah, I think Nyla Rose is not done with Riho.
No, I think she'll be in that title mix for a while there, and
yeah,
Riho, I'm sure she'll defend it at Full Gear, so we'll need an opponent for that. Britt Baker's still in the mix. I think she was on commentary.
She was.
We'll see.
She was.
Yeah. No, I'm excited for the women's division. We'll see where it goes.
Excited for the women's division, folks. It is main event time.
Main event.
It's a main event. We're gonna have a 6-man tag. It's gonna be star-studded. Of course, we have the Elite. We have Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks taking on Chris Jericho and his two opponents, or his two buddies, Santana and Ortiz, formerly known as LAX.
So they had originally advertised this as mystery partners, which kind of makes me wonder why they brought them in at the last pay-per-view instead of just saving it for here for a surprise.
Yeah, same thing.
I don't know. Either way.
You got to wonder if those two mystery partners were supposed to be other people.
Yeah, because the whole time, and then at the beginning of the show, they already had it announced as them, so they didn't even bring out a mystery. But yeah, maybe something fell through. Maybe CM Punk got pissed off, and he's like, I'm not coming anymore.
It makes you wonder. It does make you wonder.
Ooh, it makes you wonder. But
match kicks off, and it's pretty good.
Yeah, the Elite, of course, they work well together. We always see. But then, not too long into the match, Omega's
not
alone.
Very long at all, like 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, Omega's all alone in the ring, and then Jon Moxley comes in, attacks him from behind. I don't think the ref. I guess Omega wasn't legal here because they didn't DQ him. I lost track of who was a legal man.
Yeah,
so.
I lost track very, very shortly afterward. Yeah, so of course the Mox man is fucking back. He takes him, he rips him out of the fucking ring. They're brawling into the crowd now. Now suddenly it's a 2-on-3 inside the ring.
Kenny's out of the picture. So they go to this little backstage area where there's this glass table set up. And then Moxley fucking hits the huge double arm DDT through the glass table on Omega. What a cool looking spot.
What's that called now? Because
I don't know.
It's not the end of days.
Because in Japan they called it it was never the end of days.
Oh no! Wow, sorry. What's it called? Dirty Deeds.
The Dirty Deeds. Yeah. And then in Japan they called it something I forget, but I liked what they called it. It was like the.
I also heard somebody call it today a butterfly DDT.
That's another, a double arm DDT.
Yeah.
It's got 5 names. They need to establish a name on TV.
We need
soon,
one because Kenny Omega makes it look damn good.
It looks so great. Yeah, just landed head first through the glass, and just fucking. So he's dead. He's out of it.
So he's dead.
So
back
in the ring, 3-on-2. The Bucks try to put up a fight, but the numbers is too much. Eventually, Jericho hits a Judas effect, gets the win. And then they continue the beatdown on the Bucks until Cody comes running out to make the save. But then Guevara comes out to attack him. And then Dustin comes out to save him. And then all of a sudden, Jack Swagger, now called Jack Hager.
I think it's Jake. I think Jake Hager?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, maybe Jake. But formerly Jack Swagger from WWE. He comes running in. He attacks Dustin from behind. JR says, "Holy shit," uncensored.
I know. He did. I heard that too. Way to go, JR.
Yeah.
You're 1 for 1.
It is TV 14. It's TV 14. I think his shit's allowed.
I don't know.
So, anyways, Hager's here. He's just running wild. He beats up all the baby faces in the ring. The crowd's chanting, "We the people," in respect for him. And then Hager power bombs Dustin on top of the podium. And then Jericho hits a Judas effect on Cody. So all these heels stand tall.
Heels and the faces. And man, let me tell you, the fucking energy coming from that arena when Jake Hager comes down was huge. It was fucking cool. Huge. Everybody was into it. It was such a great last segment of this show, or last match and afterfall of the show. Even just to see Dustin Rhodes come out.
Yeah, it was nice to see him come running out, and
even just the once, and then get the shit kicked out of him.
But no, the crowd, I guess going in, people would like some sort of surprise, and yeah, this was something. Jake Hager.
And yeah,
we'll figure it out. Yeah, and now so him, Jericho, LAX could be like a 5-man power faction, or something. Or who else was there? Guevara.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think we have our top heels and our top faces, and we did our whole show, and we haven't even talked about librarians yet. We still have so much more to come. There's the Lucha, what are they fucking called?
Tag team tournament.
The Jurassic Express.
Jurassic Express taking on the Bucks.
We have the whole tag tournament needs to happen.
Yeah, so that's gonna be a lot of fun.
Librarians,
pay-per-view to build for.
An entire women's division. Oh my lord! What a great first episode of this show. I gotta say.
Yeah, no, I think it was fun. And, you're not going to get everybody on the show every week, but you got a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Of course, no, yeah. This was a great way to start, and I can't wait to see how they're gonna, what being the Elite and Road to how those series will keep going. I'm also looking forward to that.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what the. And are they going to have? Or I guess, yeah. I guess all the pay-per-views, they have buy-ins and everything still too. So that's a place you can have those sort of things to wrap things up as well.
Mm-hmm. They can still exist in a space somewhere. But that was it. That was it, folks. That was AEW's premiere. Definitely all it was made out to be. I'm real excited for next Wednesday. I'm real excited next Wednesday to roll around. Before we end the show, though, Mike, I think that we need to do the one thing that we always do before we end the show. We probably
even before
something?
Wrestler in the Week. Well, no, just quickly we can talk about the Hell in a Cell, the 3 matches we know about.
Okay. What are they?
The official pay-per-view preview, right?
Okay, I guess so. Okay. So first off,
so you got the tag team of Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns versus Eric Rowan and Luke Harper.
I forgot about this one.
And that's a third of the card. So.
Jesus, oh my God, I forgot about 33% of this whole thing.
Yeah, so that'll just be a fun tag match. Crowd will be hot. I don't know. Maybe our Rowan and Harper will win.
Yeah, but who eats that pin? Roman, not Roman.
Brian. It's always Brian. Brian
okay.
eating the pin, of course.
Okay.
And then we get the first of 2 Hell in a Cell matches: Becky Lynch versus Sasha Banks. I'm looking forward to this one. There's.
Is it time?
Know where she can run.
Is it time?
I think it's time.
Yeah.
I saw there was a big poster for Friday Night Smackdown, and on the very front and center was Roman Reigns and Becky Lynch. So, might be timing. She drops this belt and gets drafted to SmackDown.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah, that could be it, right?
Yeah. So I think it's time. She's had fun.
Okay.
And then it's also time for the main event with The Fiend challenging for Seth Rollins' Universal Championship. And I think we all want The Fiend to win here. He's just too awesome. No way could he be losing this match.
I can't picture him losing. That's the problem. And if he does, it would be terrible. That would be terrible if he lost.
Yeah. And if they do a fucky finish, I don't want that either. I'd rather just The Fiend win. You don't want some inconclusive Braun Strowman rips the cage apart.
No.
We don't want that. Or Brock Lesnar rips it apart. We don't want that.
No, we just want a straight dub.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
And, speaking of Brock Lesnar, he will be challenging for that championship on Friday against Kofi, which I think he will win. And then it's a matter of, will he turn around to defend it 2 days later on Sunday? Will they give Kofi a rematch, or will they book something else? I don't know.
Book something else?
But they need to fill out this card.
But do you see Brock being on SmackDown and not Raw?
Yes.
Okay, that is interesting. I also see that, the Friday Fox Sports seems more up Brock's alley than Monday on USA.
Yeah, I think they're like, we want Brock. We want him as one of our main guys. People will tune in. They know who he is.
And if they're paying the money that they say they're paying, which is a lot more than USA, they might just get what they want.
And that's what makes me think Becky as well might be going there. She's the top women's draw right now, one of the top draws in the company. And
that's it. Raw will always be Raw.
Exactly.
But wait, are we doing 3 hours of SmackDown or 2?
No, I think it's just 2.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, that's they still have 205 Live there on life support for some reason.
Oh, really? They haven't fully migrated that over to NXT quite yet?
Not yet, but hopefully. Hopefully so they're still doing an hour of that after every SmackDown for some reason. But
Well, we will see.
Yeah.
And folks,
so that's everything else we got to wrap up.
That's all we got to wrap up the week before our next show, which will include the very exciting first episode of SmackDown Live, including the Hell in the Cell Fallout. But I think before we sign off, we do what we do all the time, which is to give you our Wrestler of the Week.
It's the Wrestler of the Week. Wrestler of the Week. Of the Week. Of the Week. The Wrestler of the Week. Of the Week. Of the Week. Wrestler of the Week. Of the Week. Of the Week. The Wrestler of the Week.
Or maybe it's just Wrestler of the Midweek.
Well, yeah, we're still gonna have to figure out the format.
But you know what? But since no one's keeping track of this, I think we can just kind of more
for this week. Yeah,
for
this,
give it out.
Yeah.
So, Mike, who is your Wrestler of the Week?
All right. Well, my runner-up was Dominic, just for him bumping all
taking
around.
a bump.
Yeah, but my winner will have to go to the first ever AEW Women's Champion, Riho. Yeah, like her a lot. She's good. Good baby face.
Great baby face. Got the underdog story. Everybody's on board.
Yes.
Which is great. Which is great for Riho. My Wrestler of the Week, I got to give it back to. I've definitely given it to him before. The Mox Man. He just every time I see his face, I just, it's just something about every time I see his angry scowl, and when he does that thing where it's like he's cracking his neck, he's like,
yeah, just cranking.
He's just like cranking. You're like,
psycho.
oh shit.
So, yeah, chiropractors would say don't do that, but
he,
Mox Man's crazy. He's wild.
I know. I'm not going to a chiropractor. Renee, take me to the chiropractor, Renee.
Yeah, Renee.
There you have it, folks.
Renee.
That was our week of the Shoot Brothers Wrestling Podcast. Remember, you can rate, review, like, and subscribe to the show. Apple Podcast, Spotify, Google Play, YouTube, all those places.
Yeah. And tell your friends.
Tell your friends. Why the heck not?
To listen to the Shoot Brothers, yeah.
Exactly.
Hey, guys, check it out.
Hey, guys. Come shoot. Let's go shoot.
Come shoot.
Let's go shoot, brother. Okay, Mike, we're going to come back, folks. We'll have another show for you next week. We're going to have the SmackDown Fallout. We're going to have the Fallout from Hell in a Cell. And then we're right back to fucking Raw and AEW and a draft and all sorts of shit that we have exciting.
NXT. We got NXT in there.
Even NXT. Mike, you got to watch it. Some crazy shit happened.
And I'll have a theme next week so we can talk about it.
It'll be great. It'll be great, folks. Okay, Mike, you take care for the rest of your night.
All right, yeah. Go Leafs, go.
Go Leafs, go. Okay, see you. Bye.